Hello everyone, Sangeeta here. Today, in this session, we'll be discussing regarding the immunochemistry or immunology. Under this session, we'll be focusing on the immunity. So, what is the meaning of immune response? Immunity means free from burden. That means usually the resistance which is exhibited by the host towards injury caused by microorganism and their product is known as the immune response. Usually this immune response is the third line of defense which involves protection of antibodies and generation of specialized lymphocytes against specific antigens. Antigens are molecules from a pathogen or foreign organisms that provoke a specific immune response. So we have seen that the immune system is the third line of defense against infection. So we have to understand what are the first line and second line of defense. So we are classifying the immune system. It is mainly divided into two types, the non-specific defense mechanisms and specific defense mechanism. Specific and non-specific. The non-specific mechanisms which includes the first line of defense and the second line of defense. We know that we have skin. What is the purpose of the skin mainly? This has some role in protecting protection against certain microorganisms which cannot be easily entered into the body. Like mucous membranes, secretions of skin and mucous membrane, even our sneezing or all these things are actually having some clear purpose. When some foreign thing is entering into our nose, what will happen? Automatically we feel to sneeze. Okay, that is one of the um, body's mechanism to defend against the foreign substance. Now the second line of defense is phagocytic white blood cells, that is our WBC, one of the best thing which defend against the foreign substance. Usually during any kind of infectious reaction, our WBC count will be increasing, isn't it? Then other types are antimicrobial proteins, the inflammatory response, etc. Now the specific defense mechanism, or it is specifically known as the immune system, which is the third line of defense. It is mediated through lymphocytes and antibodies. Immunity against infectious disease is of different types, because now we are going to study in detail over the immunity. So there are different types of immunity, like innate or genetic immunity or acquired immunity. Innate means inborn. We have something uh, which we have with us by birth itself. That is innate or genetic immunity, which is a resistance to infection that an individual possessed by virtue of its genetic and constitutional makeup or genetically determined. The second type is acquired immunity. Here the immunity that an organism develops during the lifetime. It is not genetically determined. We are getting it when we are exposed to a certain antigen. Our body will gain or develop a specific type of immunity that is known as the acquired immunity. It may be acquired either naturally or artificially. That I will explain what is the meaning of natural acquired immunity or artificial acquired immunity. So here the example, development of immunity to measles in response to infection or vaccination. Yeah, right. One of the best example how it is naturally acquired or artificially acquired. Measles, we know that we all used to have this measles in our childhood. Once the measles had come, it won't come again. That means our body developed a specific immunity against that particular measles virus. So here there is one type, that is naturally acquired immunity by getting a disease itself or infection itself. Or we use nowadays, we used to get measles vaccination. So through that way also body will develop immunity. That is known as artificially acquired immunity. Let's go in detail about the types of immunity. Innate immunity can be non-specific or specific. Or acquired immunity can be divided into active or passive acquired immunity. Active acquired immunity is again divided into naturally acquired immunity or artificially acquired immunity. Passive also naturally passive immunity and natural artificial or artificial passive immunity. This acts which explains the components of human immune system, which includes specifically thymus, spleen, bone marrow, then all these lymph nodes, adenoids, tonsils, appendix, Peyer's pouch, thoracic duct, etc. Now the types of acquired immunity in detail. The first one is naturally acquired immunity. The word by meaning which obtained in the course of daily life. That is naturally acquired immunity. It is again divided into naturally acquired active immunity and naturally acquired passive immunity. So first one, naturally acquired active immunity. It is the resistance developed by an individual as a result of an antigenic stimulus. What does it mean? Here the antigen or pathogen enter the body naturally. That means we are getting a simple infection, either a bacterial or viral infection. What will happen during when we are getting an infection? Our body will generate an immune response to antigen. That means a specific antibody will be synthesized against that particular antigen. So this, here the example, immunity may be lifelong, chickenpox or mumps. Once we are getting the chickenpox or mumps, what will happen? We will not get again the chickenpox or mumps, isn't it? So here, our body is developing a specific antibody against that pox virus or mumps virus, and that will be remain in our body. There is a memory will remain in our body. So again, the infection does not occur. That immunity may be lifelong. That is the best example for naturally acquired active immunity. Or it can be a temporary one. Temporarily. That means influenza or intestinal infection. Yeah, often we get cold, cough cold. This cold is due to influenza virus. There are varieties of strains of influenza viruses. Every time we will get a different strain or different variant of influenza virus infection. That is why that will be a temporary immunity is developed against that particular influenza virus. So we are again exposed to get the secondary or repeatedly we will be exposed to the influenza viruses because of the wide variant nature of influenza virus. Same like intestinal infection also. Then naturally acquired immunity. Naturally acquired passive immunity also there. Yeah, already we have discussed naturally acquired active immunity. Now regarding naturally acquired passive immunity. Here the resistance that is transmitted passively to a recipient in a ready-made form is known as passive immunity. That is, here the recipient immune system does not have any active role. It is not like that when we are exposing to an antigen and our body is synthesizing antibody against that. It is here our body does not have a specific role. Naturally, we are getting the immunity in a preformed or ready-made form. So the best example, the IgG. The antibodies passes from mother to fetus via placenta or breastfeeding. That is IgA through the colostrum. Here the immunity is usually short-lived, weeks to months only, or protection until the child's immune system develops. Now artificially acquired immunity which obtained by receiving a vaccine or immune system. Artificially acquired active immunity also there, artificially acquired passive immunity also there. Artificially acquired active immunity, here the antigens are introduced in vaccines, that is through our immunization. We know that polio vaccines or so many vaccines, DPT, etc. So here the body generates an immune response to antigen, and immunity can be lifelong or temporary. Lifelong, the best example, polio vaccine, or temporary means tetanus toxoid. Every time we are getting a injury or something, we used to take the TT, that is tetanus toxoid. That is a temporary one only. It may have a duration of either 6 months or 1 year something. Again, repeatedly, when we are getting a second time injury, we are supposed to take the TT vaccine again, because that immunity is for a less time only, temporary only. Next, explain the artificially acquired active immunity. Then, artificially acquired passive immunity means here the preformed antibodies are introduced into body by injection or anti-serum. Preformed antibodies is also known as anti-serum. Best example, snake anti-venom injection from horses or rabbits. Here the immunity is short-lived, half-life 3 weeks only, and the host immune system does not respond to antigens. So these all are the different types of innate immunity and acquired immunity. Now in immunology, we have to be familiarized with certain terminologies. The first one, serum. What is serum? Serum is a fluid that remains after blood has clotted and cells have been removed. That is meaning of serum. Anti-serum means the serum containing antibodies to a specific antigen, which usually obtained from injecting in an animal. The antigen will be injected into an animal, specifically horse, rabbit, goat, etc. And this animal body will be synthesizing specific antibodies against that antigen, that is known as anti-serum, and that will be extracted from the animal body and which will be purified and will be injected to the specific person for the specific disease. Example, snake venom, anti-snake venom, then botulinum or diphtheria toxin, etc. Now, serology is a branch of study which deals with the reactions between antibodies and antigens. Now, the meaning of gamma globulins. Gamma globulins we have seen in plasma protein. Gamma globulins are one among the plasma protein which is specifically synthesized by the plasma cells, which is known as the antibodies or immunoglobulins. In serum sickness, the terminology serum sickness is nothing. The disease caused by the repeated exposure of anti-serum. Here the immune response to foreign proteins, it leads to either kidney problems or kidney failure, joint pain, sometimes fever, etc. Now we have to focus in detail on the duality of immune system. That is mainly divided into two things in our human body, either humoral immunity or antibody mediated immunity or cell mediated immunity. Humoral immunity, as the name suggests, humoral means here the antibodies which is present in the humoruses or fluids, which involves the production of antibodies against specific foreign antigens. These antibodies are produced by a subset of lymphocytes called B cells. These B cells are stimulated actively and secreted antibodies and are called plasma cells. So I said gamma globulins are immunoglobulins synthesized by the plasma cells when the body is encountered with a specific foreign substance or antigen, which is activated from the B lymphocytes. So continuation of humoral immunity. These antibodies are found in extracellular fluids. That is why I said the name is humoral immunity. Fluids like blood, plasma, lymph, mucus, etc. And also sometimes it is present on the surface of B cells or B lymphocytes. The general function of these antibodies are it defends against bacteria, bacterial toxins and viruses that circulate freely in body fluids before they enter into the cells. And certain reaction against transplanted tissue. So this figure which explains the production of antibodies by B lymphocytes. So B which represent the bone marrow or of fetal liver. So bursa fabricia from the birds, which is similar to the in human body as bone marrow. So that is responsible as the pluripotent stem cells for the production of B lymphocyte, and depends on the situation which will be transformed into lymphocyte stem cell, and during specific antigenic stimulus, what will happen, which will be transformed to B cell, and B cell will be converted to lymphoid tissue, lymph nodes, spleen, blood and lymph, etc. And these plasma cells will be synthesizing specific antibodies. Now the cell-mediated immunity. Cell-mediated immunity, which involves specialized set of lymphocytes called T cells, which recognize foreign antigens on the surface of cells, organisms or tissues. Remember, it is cell-mediated. Usually, this type of cells will recognize the antigens which is present on the surface of cells, organisms or tissues, whereas the other was which present in the fluids or humerus. So example for cell-mediated immunity, helper T cells which carry the CD4 determinants, and cytotoxic T cells. These T cells regulate proliferation and activity of other cells of the immune system, B cells, macrophages, neutrophils, etc. So the role of cell-mediated immunity is defense against bacteria, viruses similar to our humoral immunity, that are inside the host cells and are inaccessible to the antibodies. And also it has some role, or it helps to kill or neutralize the fungi, protozoa, helminths, etc. And also sometimes helps to distract the cancer or tumor cells, and has some role in transplanted tissue or rejection of allograft. Another terminology we have to be familiar is in detail antigens. These are the proteins or larger polysaccharides from a foreign organism, specifically microbes, microorganisms, capsules, cell walls, toxins, viral capsids, flagella, etc. So this antigen even also can be a non-microbes, which is not a microorganism. It can be a pollen, egg white, RBC surface molecules, serum proteins, and surface molecules from the transplanted tissue. Anything which evoke an immune response is known as antigen. It can be either a microorganism, or it can be or a non-microorganism, or anything which evokes an immune response is known as antigens. Usually they are proteins or polysaccharides in nature. Lipids and nucleic acids are only antigenic when combined with the proteins or polysaccharides. They are not directly antigenic. Now the meaning of hapten is a small foreign molecule that is not antigenic itself. So it must be coupled to a carrier molecule to be antigenic. Once the antibodies are formed, they will recognize the hapten. Now the meaning of epitope. Epitope is a small part of an antigen that interact with an antibody. So any given antigen may have multiple epitopes, and each epitope is recognized by different antibody. So here gives the picture of an antigen. It has multiple epitope in its structure, so that various antibodies can come and bind with the epitope of this specific antigen. So for example, antibody A, antibody B, C, etc. So these are the epitope or antigenic determinants which will specifically go and bind with the antibodies. Now the meaning of antibodies, these are the proteins that recognize and bind to a particular antigen with very high specificity, which usually made in response to exposure to the antigen or any foreign substance. On virus or microbe, may house multiple antigenic determining sites to which different antibodies can bind with. Each antibody has at least two identical sites that bind with the antigen. That is known as antigen binding site. Usually these antibodies belongs to a group of serum proteins is known as immunoglobulins. We have a session in detail about the immunoglobulins. We'll be discussing that in detail in later classes. So you please be thorough with the all these terminologies of immunological reactions or immunology, and also you should be thorough in detail about the definition of immunity, what are the types of immunity, and example with each type of immunity, and you have to have a thorough knowledge of cell mediated and humoral immunity in detail. Thank you all.